Hello everyone and welcome to the Nature Project channel. Today I'm going to tell you about a very interesting Australian insect that is also very easy to raise at home, namely the Australian dryleaf insect, whose scientific name is Extatosoma tiaratum. The Latin word tiaratum means with a tiara and refers to the conical shape of the head that appears to be fitted with a headdress, known as a tiara, which was an ancient sign of distinction among many Asian peoples. Well, yes, Australia is not only home to venomous snakes and spiders. In fact, this insect is herbivorous, and although the adult, particularly the female, can measure up to 18 centimeters in length and has a curved abdomen that gives it a rather menacing appearance, broadly reminiscent of a scorpion, it actually has no sting and is totally harmless. The species has an high sexual dimorphism. We have in fact the male is about 10 centimeters long, the antennae are longer than those of the female, and with a greater number of segments and sensille, with which it is able to pick up and process stimuli of various kinds from the external environment. It is also equipped with developed and functional wings suitable for flight. The female, up to 18 centimeters long, although it is usually between 13 and 15 centimeters, has a massive body with shorter antennae than the male. In the thorax, the wings are short and unsuitable for flight. The abdomen has several spines that are absent in the male. Also, in the hind legs, it has larger spines that it uses to defend itself. In both sexes, the femurs and tibia of the legs have characteristic laminar expansions with serrated margins resembling dry leaves. The female, if disturbed, tries to defend herself with her hind legs and by emitting hallomones, compounds with a characteristic odor with the purpose of deterring possible predators. The male can also emit hallomones, but since he cannot defend himself, he prefers to flee. The oval-shaped eggs are about 5 mm in diameter. What is really interesting is that they resemble the seeds of an Australian acacia, so they are collected by the ants of the species Leptomyrmex erythrocephalus and brought inside the anthill. In this way, the anthill will become a kind of incubator from which the nereids will then emerge undisturbed, which, in order to avoid being eaten by ants, look very much like the ants themselves. It is very interesting to note that not only do they look like ants, but they also run tirelessly just like an ant would, and not like a leaf insect would, which actually moves very slowly and swayingly like a leaf moved by the wind would. Already after a few days, the ant-like behavior and coloration is drastically reduced, and after the first molt, the second-age neonids have uniformly brownish bodies with leaf-like laminar expansions in their various legs, thus imitating the dry leaves of eucalyptus. In the course of their lives, these insects mimic 3 different organisms: acacia seeds, Australian ants, and eucalyptus leaves. This, to me, provides an example of how ingenious nature can really be. Another interesting trait of this species is that the coloration of juveniles can vary greatly during growth, depending on the conditions in which they live. For example, generally the coloration varies from brown to red, but in high humidity conditions they can turn green. Finally, if there are many lichens around, they tend to mimic their coloration, becoming a teal lichen color with black streaks. the wild, their diet consists of eucalyptus leaves, but in captivity they can also be fed on bramble, oak and hazel. Beginning at the third age, spiny protuberances form on the abdomen of female nestlings that are always absent in male nestlings. Adult females live several months and are slightly longer lived than males, reaching maturity about a month after the last of 6 or 7 molts. During their lifetime, they lay a total of about 400 eggs. If fertilized, they lay 3 or 4 amphigonix eggs daily, which hatch after 4 to 5 months of incubation. In the absence of male, they lay parthenogenetic eggs, from which after 7 to 8 months only females are born. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell to stay updated, leave a like and a comment. See you at the next animal!